Lucas Media got many videos today. Might have to hit y'all with a little mini marathon. But Malik Scott recently did an interview, and I believe the interview was with YSN Media about Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. Now Wilder, who came off of 2 recent losses, one to Joseph Parker and the other one to Zhang, where he was stopped, and that was only his second fight ever stop him outside of Tyson Fury. Now Malik Scott talked about how Deontay, he kind of alluded to those fights were on short notice, and that those were probably the toughest fighters in the division. I mean, I would say outside of Usyk and Tyson Fury, but he talked about, you know, how Wilder, he don't necessarily have the same motivation he used to, because you waking up, I'm sure he's worth several millions of dollars over and over again. He also talked about waking up in silk sheets. You don't necessarily have that same drive as you once had, but, you know, he talked about the year 2025 will determine Deontay Wilder's career. And he said that he did show things in training camps that he didn't necessarily show in those 2 fights. Now, let me say this, right? Shout out to Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. A lot of people never really liked Wilder. You heard people call him Windmill Wilder, and he only had 1 punch, and even though he's one of the hardest hitters in heavyweight division history. But let me say this. I do think that the Tyson Fury trilogy took a toll on him, even though the first fight and the second fight was a long referee count. I know a lot of people don't like to hear that, but if you go back and watch the fight, those were 2 long counts. Even if you have Wilder losing the first fight, he still had a long count, the Tyson Fury in the 12th round. But we'll have to see. I mean, the thing that bothers me about the whole Wilder situation is that the PBC, Al Heyman and Sam Watson and Floyd, because Floyd claims he owns half the PBC, they almost shelved them in a way, right? When he fought Fury once, there was a draw. Then he fought what was his name? Dominic Brazil. Then he fought Luis Ortiz. Then he fought Tyson Fury twice. Now after this, the last time he fought Tyson Fury was before the pandemic. And then he didn't fight after that, the second loss to him. He didn't fight for almost 2 years or something like that. Then he fought Joseph Parker. Then he had some more time off. I mean, Robert Helenius, he had 1 round. Then he had some time off. Then he fought Joseph Parker. And he said it was last minute, and even the Zhang fight was last minute, right? So I think Wilder being inactive a lot, especially at an older age, takes a toll. Now look, you can't do that in anything, honestly. Even if I take a couple of days off with videos, sometimes I can be a little rusty. So just imagine if I didn't do it for 2 years, and then all of a sudden I just come back to making videos. But we'll have to see what goes on. Listen, I'm rooting for Wilder, and the people that don't like him, let me have this to say. Who else is out there that's the heavyweight champion in America, right? He was the only one holding America down. So if you hate on him, who else is out there? Because everybody else has been getting knocked out left and right. But we'll have to see. I mean, if he retires, I support him. If he wants to fight again, I support him. I would just hope that if he does come back, that he should have at least 2 to 3 tune-ups. And you know, I don't know if he's still with PBC. I know his last couple of fights was on DAZN with Eddie Hearn. But I mean, just at least give him 2 to 3 easy fights. Let him get some rounds under his belt. Hopefully he goes 8-9 rounds each fight, and then then he come back against the main person, because Wilder still got that Alabama slammer in him, and a lot of times that's all it ever takes. But you got to stay active. You got to stay active. Same thing with Tank Davis. If Tank Davis and Errol Spence was fighting once every blue moon, I mean, a lot of people say that Errol Spence had ring rust against Terrence Crawford. It's like, man, you take a year off. A year plus off, and you throw him in there, probably arguably the greatest fighter of this generation, and then people wonder why sometimes fights can be one-sided. So hopefully Wilder stays active this year, and he can go from there. Or if he chooses to retire, he ride off in the sunset. We'll have to see. Or if now that they're saying that Joshua and Fury gonna mix it up, now once that happens, Wilder can get the winner of that or the loser. So I just want to get my quick thoughts about it. Tell me what y'all think.